to agree 5%. This time, we will read along all control depression and suicide. It was a dark day of adventures. They thought all the puppies were a gazebo, watching television. Sky and Chase was happy together kissing. The two puppies are filling you with happiness, not just like Everest and Marshall. These two couples are going to love. They had a wonderful life. They promised to each other always never leave each other and to be able to start a family. But in all that there was Zuma. This little puppy was very sad. He was desperately looking to be happy. Since Marshall, Chase, Everest, and Sky are in a couple, he is desperate for life. But he tells himself that he will never be able to meet the bitch who will fill him with happiness. But he does not tell his friends. The only person to whom he entrusts this is his best friend, Rocky. There was the look of a beaten puppy running away in his own beach, thinking about what life would do with him. When Rocky sees that his friend is sad, he decides to go see his friend to bring him a little morale. Quite often gold, which happened to raise the morale of Zuma, but would always fall back into depression. Then Rocky continues to raise the morale of Zuma until he gets better. Rocky was with the other two couples watching Apollo the super puppy, but when he sees his friend still sad, he decides to go see him. Rocky, what's wrong? Or are you still sad? Can I really do something to cheer you up? I know every time I tell you you don't want it, but please, try not to think about that anymore. Zuma, I know, Rocky. But I keep saying to myself that my life is stupid. No one. I'm just a useless poor puppy who doesn't know how to use his paws. And I can't pronounce the art correctly. I really deserve to die. You're so much better portrait without me. Rocky, but what are you talking about? You don't think about wanting to die. You have to stay with us. You are the rescue puppy at sea. We can't be a good team without you, and in addition, you rhyme uneven to pronounce the hour in a few sentences. It was just with my name that you are wrong. But it does not matter. You know I believe in you. Do not be depressed and do not think to want to die. I think the opposite. You will do very well without me, even if there is no rescue puppy as. See, Don, you do not need that to move forward. You manage to control your emotions, but I'm not stopping. Thinking about all those things, Chase and Marshall, who have found the love of their life, while I am alone for the rest of mine. I say to myself, not death and perhaps the best of times. Rocky, stop telling me that, Dog. You are a very good puppy dog. You have always succeeded in your rescue. So why do you think that death would take you? You're a happy puppy, but since Chase and Marshall are in trouble, you have become very sad and desperate. I know that the relationship makes you want to have the same, but I'm sure you can find a bitch who will fill you with happiness. It's very nice of you to comfort me, Rocky. But I'm a hopeless case. I can't stop thinking about death and suicide. Each of your words affect me and prevents me from doing that. Frankly, if you felt we weren't there too, we wouldn't be friends. I don't know how I could have overcome that at all. I have a lot of trouble recovering. If I didn't have a friend like you, I think I would have died directly, either jumping from the first floor of the velvet or by jumping through the cliff. Rocky starts to cry and says, but please, don't kill yourself. I won't be able to live without you. You are my friend, my best friend. You always help me when I need it. It is up to you help now that you need it. So please don't do this irreversible solution. I surely can't overcome it. So please don't try suicide. Well, I will do it for you. You are my friend and my best friend. Also, it's true that I would be hard to live without you too, but I tell myself that in my opinion, you and the other puppies would arrive very well without me. I think my existence as a rescue puppy at sea is not important. Rocky, too. Don't say anything. Your life is very important for me and for the other puppies. Without you, we will not be able to live. Tell me I will not be able to live apart from crying the tears of my body because my best friend decided to commit suicide. That's all I can do, so please don't do it. I beg you, I want you to stay with me. You are my friend, my best friend, and I don't want you to leave me that you leave other puppies. The two puppies chatted for a few hours. Zuma always said that it is the delirium hero who always tried to say the opposite until he got to bed. He is extremely afraid that his friend will make the biggest irreversible decision in his life. But he trusts his friend and he deserves not to let them think that will always be what is. That's why he will asked him if he would feel better sleeping with him. They just asked Zuma if he wants to confront and depress Rocky, and you were always going to smile to comfort him even if he did not have a smile on his face. Rocky, I had an idea to do. Once I was both to sleep, you might be more reassured if I was with you and we were all alone. Occasionally, if you wanted to maybe help me a little with my always saying the phones and everything. Rocky, I'm still here to help you, my friend. Let's go to bed. I hope you have a good night. Rocky, do you want to sleep in the puppy house or elsewhere? Well, if you don't mind, I would like us to sleep here. Rocky, there is no problem, my friend. We can sleep here. Rocky lay down next to his friend and started to close your eyes while looking at Zuma, who was still fast but who had fallen asleep with tears in his eyes. He wondered what he could dream and must have made him a lot evil. Rocky was starting to get a little stressed and afraid for his friend. The night passed until Poppy's waves at Rocky. It woke up a little bit and he saw me and you were no longer there. He was extremely afraid. His eyes were wide open in fear. He was going to see if he had gone to eat. Rocky, no, we are you, Zuma, he said, and his son all the time Egyptians. Rocky walks outside to look up and sees that Zuma was eating. Rocky, the way you were there, I looked for you everywhere. I am going to fear for you, but luckily you were mine. I'm really sorry, Rocky, with all these bad thoughts. I woke up quite early this morning. I waited for a while and then I went to eat. Rocky, I'm glad your depression hasn't got your appetite yet. Me too. Rocky, I'm going to go eat too. Do you want to go watch the movie watch after? Of course, I will prepare the game. I am waiting for you. Zuma was happy despite the bad night that will pass. He likes to play watch movie with Rocky. So once you're done eating, I have to prepare the game. Zuma got down to the ground floor at the Belvedere. He looked out the playmat and you turned on the console for a new party. But strangely, he waited a few hours before switching off and going away. Rocky did not tell. He wondered why he wanted to play with him so much. Now he went back on the same night to the corner where he was yesterday, grabbed a little fur and started to cry a little. Zuma, since why don't you just go? I'm going to want to play with him so much, but it's been an hour since I have seen him at the lookout, he said, and it all wrapped around tears in his eyes. Meanwhile, Rocky saw that he was helping Chase change the wheels of his vehicle. Rocky and Chase are vehicle has brand new wheels. He will have more grip on the ground now. Chase, thank you very much, Rocky. And how is Zuma doing? I noticed that he was extremely sad. Rocky begins to rub his eyes wide open as he noticed that he had forgotten his best friend, and in the state he was afraid that he would do something to him. Chase is afraid. What's your problem? Rocky, I forgot to do something for Zuma. I will absolutely go there. I'm sorry. See you later. We'll see you later. Chase, okay, see you later. Rocky went as quickly as possible towards the corridor. He did not see where my box stopped. He was off the trace about, but there was nobody. Rocky, no, yes. Does it pass Zuma? Are you there? Please answer me. Yelling time up. Squeaks coming from the corner where Zuma was lying the previous day. Rocky, Jimmy, you're here. I was so scared for you. I'm very sorry. I didn't come this morning. Chase wanted me to change the tires of his vehicle, which was completely flat. He said with a broken voice, but why you didn't ask for him to do it? I had prepared everything for weekend, but now we don't have any more. All desire I want, deny. Rocky, don't say that, Zuma. I'm really sorry. I'm going to stay with you until you feel better, and I never promise I will leave you alone. Zuma, thank you, Rocky. I forgive you. Rocky and Zuma are therefore both lying down to discuss a little story that Zuma no longer thinks too much about all these horrors. The day passed. Rocky was with Zuma. He discussed good and bad things, a little bit of everything. Zuma had too much desire to have the nerve to commit suicide. Rocky hopes that it will continue in time and that it will get better and we will find his best friend with a zest for life. We were in the evening again. Rocky asked again if he wanted me to fall asleep with him. Zuma said yes for that. The two puppies fell asleep. The next morning, Zuma woke up quite early, around 5 a.m. He saw that Rocky was still deeply asleep, but he didn't want to disturb him, so he went to make his breakfast, Zuma said, while going to the food dispenser. Zuma sniffed. Why is it that every time I wake up, I always think about wanting to die? I always find that my life is inferior compared to that of the others. I think that suicide is perhaps the best solution, but I don't want to hurt Rocky. I think the other puppies would rather don't care. I think Rocky would be devastated. Zuma went to the top of the Belvedere, watching the end of the night and the start of the day on the balcony. 4 hours have passed. It was 9 a.m. when Rocky is get up. Rocky had several looks next to him and saw that his friend was no longer there. He was still afraid that something bad was done during his sleep. Rocky said, damn shit, where did he go? I hope he didn't put his life in danger. Rocky went off all the way around the Belvedere to look for his friend, a girl on the ground. So outside all the vehicles, he found nothing there. Was more and more afraid. He decided to go up to the upstairs and see him if he was not going to make the irreparable choice to light Zuma on the balcony watching the jay. He was a little afraid that jumps, but he was relieved to see him still alive. To avoid scaring off Zuma, he went quietly towards him as relaxed as possible. Rocky, hello Zuma, are you okay? I was a little scared for you. I didn't see you. Did you wake up again early this morning? Zuma, well, yes, I got up at 5 a.m. with tears in my eyes, a little like you thought of my life, which is really stupid. I went to have breakfast at the vending machine, then I went upstairs to go see a little the sunset of the night and the letter of the sun. Does not worry, I had not made this irreversible gesture, at least not for the moment. Rocky was reassured that his friend told him that. Rocky, well, I won't be pretty enough to look pretty and soothing. Zuma, yes, it was going a little far out. It's still enough. We seem to have a fairly sunny day on the Bay of Adventures. Rocky, do you have a reason why the day seems to be good enough and that you plan to do it on this beautiful day? Zuma, apart from thinking about my sad, stupid life, I don't know what else to do. I don't want to play too much now. I just want to lie down and curl up and think. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Rocky, my poor Zuma, you are so sad right now. I would like so much that you would find the smile you had before the Zuma, the fever that you had when we were both playing. It's my Zuma that I want to find my best friend with, who I love and play. Zuma, I too would like to find my beautiful wife again, but since you and Marshall are in a relationship, I have definitely lost it, and I think I will never be able to find it again. Rocky, I think that if you believe in yourself, you will surely be able to regain your zest for life. I suspect that Marshall is love hunting against the girlfriend search, but you surely managed to find yourself a true love too. But you are sure of it. I think I am a hopeless case. Life is not one step from me by constant wants. Rocky, I'm sure it's you. It's not because the others have found true love that we can't find either, and I think you will find that you are an excellent puppy. Don't say that you are bad. Zuma, you may be right, but I still think the opposite. Rocky, don't worry, I'll always be there for you, and if we were going to play, Zuma, okay, I follow you. The two puppies went away to play for the whole Rocky day and stay with Zuma all the time. When he had bad thoughts, he tried to comfort him, and as time went by, Zuma had found a little smile and a little zest for life. For several months, his stable summer stage hockey food starts on him tomorrow to be playing. Zuma was a little scared, but he said to himself that it was nothing, that he was surely very busy, but by dint of time goes by the least not that a few years have passed, maybe 2 years. The puppies have become more mature and bigger. Marshall pursued on now puppies with Sky and Everest. Zuma was happy to have little puppies to play with that made him happy, and the puppies loved their uncle, Zuma. Chase and Sky puppies are a small male and a small female. Marshall and Everest puppies are 2 males and 1 female. The Oregon name is still unknown. Zuma, take it easy when you play with your litigation sister to Chase's male puppy. I'll be careful, Uncle Zuma. Zuma gives the puppy a big smile. Zuma, well, I'll go see something. I leave you with your parents. Puppy, see you later, Uncle Zuma. The 2 puppies returned with their parents to play and take a nap. Zuma are at the lookout to see if Rocky he has not seen him for several days, and he wonders where he is. He waited at the balcony upstairs for a few hours until he sees Rocky come. Zuma, Rocky, where have you been? It's been several days since I saw you. Rocky, well, I was going to do something. Maybe I will present it to you if you want. Zuma, what is it? Rocky, I'll show it to you tomorrow. Zuma, okay, he said, with a little impatience and concern. The day passed. Zuma was a little stressed and a little impatient. I was impatient to know that it was 7 things that Rocky had been preparing for several days or even several months. Rocky left again in the evening. We don't know where Zuma went to sleep in his puppy house. The night passed. Next day, all the puppies was awake. Zuma also he went to have fun with his little nephew, and then he waited for the arrival of Rocky. Arrival for the young bitch who was surely a year younger than Rocky, and the little evil puppy who was with Rocky. Zuma's heart started to shrink. He felt panic for depression rises in him, knowing his passive friend who had founded a family without. Now he told her about the Rocky. So this is the reason for my absence. I met this young dog who works at the pound. By dint of coming there to fix things, we ended up chatting, and after several months, we developed feelings one the other one, and now we decided to have a little puppy. I hope it doesn't bother you too much, my friend. Zuma responded by trying to keep his voice calm. Zuma, no, it should be fine. I'm glad that you managed to find the dog of your dreams and start a family. Rocky, thank you, my friend. If you want, we can all play together before I bring my child back to his mother's house with my wife. Zuma was surprised to hear that, but he managed to keep calm all the same, and he decided to play with Rocky and his family during the day, even to know that it had broken his heart. Once the day had passed, Zuma went to his puppy house, closed the door, and decided to cry all the tears in his heart when he saw that his best friend had managed to start a family not long ago, and that he never managed to find the bitch of his dreams. He tells himself that life is not worth living. Zuma cries, crying, sniff. My life is so bad. My best friend managed to start a family, but I am still the same. I will stay like this for the rest of my life. I will not be able to bear it. In my opinion, I will kill myself before the end of this night. We are now in the middle of the night. Zuma, we have more than enough of his life. He is thinking about what would be the means to die quickly. Zuma, I wonder what would be the best way to end my life. Maybe by jumping off the firm cliff, drowning in the water. No, it's far too long. Maybe with a knife, but I won't have enough wind rises to do so. Zuma keeps thinking and finds the ideal idea. Zuma keeps thinking and finds the ideal idea. Zuma, I know I'm going to run to the top of the elevator where I was the last time Rocky came to comfort me. I remember he was afraid that I would jump, but now I'm going to jump anyway. I think it will pass him. The family is much more important to him than me, but I understand him. Family is more important than friends. I would surely have done the same as him. Zuma slowly opens the door to his puppy house and heads for the elevator. What he hasn't seen is that his favorite little nephew is next to him. Puppy, where are you going, Uncle Zuma? Zuma wants Puppy, and he was a little surprised. Zuma, oh, you scared me? What are you doing here in the middle of the night? You should be with your parents sleeping. Puppy, well, I was worried about you. You seem to be very depressed today. Zuma, oh, it's nothing. You're going to find your parents. I'm going to go do something upstairs, then I will come back to sleep in my house. The Puppy. Puppy, okay, see you tomorrow, Uncle Zuma. See you later, my little one. The puppy returns with his parents, but he was a little worried about his uncle, so he decided to wait for him outside. Zuma was crying, climbing the elevator and heading to the balcony and watching this magnificent view of Adventure Bay for the very last time before joining his fate. Zuma, life is so cruel. All my friends have managed to start a family except me. I have never been able to find a person who will fill me with happiness, so it is no longer useful for nothing. I stay here. I am only a burden for the whole team that is surely doing better. He said, tears to his eyes. Why, heart? Zuma went up on the barrier, but he did not notice that his little nephew was downstairs, and he was about to see the most terrible thing in his life. Zuma's nephew begins to be very frightened, but he sees that his favorite uncle has been standing ready to jump off his duel. Zuma closed his eyes and decided to let himself be carried away by his fate. He calls his life scrolls before his eyes. Everything is happening. It's wonderful moment. He sees them now. Tears have started to flow on living room and in the sky during his fallen soul when he hit the ground violently and a huge blood stain appeared. He was right next to his favorite nephew when his nephew saw that he started screaming in terror and sadness. His favorite uncle had left them. All the puppies were woken up by his sobs. They were headed to the suicide site. Sky and Chase was very worried about their son. He went to get me, and when they saw Zuma's body in the pool of blood, he too was terrorized. Chase, damn shit, what happened here? Boy, the little puppy, sniffs the fists and the nails. He jumped from the top of the balcony, and he just landed on the ground. Why did he do that? He said, starting to collapse in tears. Sky and Chase was sad as their friends and decided to kill themselves, but they went to see the little puppy to try to comfort him. Chase immediately called Rocky and explained to him everything they saw. Rocky, damn, Jeff, I shouldn't have left him alone. I should have been by his side. I hadn't thought that just having what he always wanted would make him want to kill himself. Damn, if I knew I would have done, I would have prevented it all. Rocky's wife was right next to her and said to him, my love, I know it's a terrible loss for you. I'm going to help you. Don't worry. We can overcome this together with our son. Rocky, I know, my darling, but every time I think about it, I will always have this feeling of guilt. I will never stop telling myself for the rest of me second day why I did not help. It was my best friend. Every time it hurt. When we were younger, I haven't, but now I haven't done it. I can't bear it. I know this is terrible for you, my darling, but I know that you will not be able to move on to something else. We are here to help you. You may not be able to get there, but we will do everything so that you do not do as your best friend does. Not worry. Rocky had tears in his eyes. He said to himself that he should now live the rest of his life without his best friend. He doesn't know if he will bear it. Rocky was distraught, extremely sad. He listens to his wife. He knows that he has a family who loves him with all his heart, and that he could not leave him like that with his son on this line. Rocky no longer has the smile. His wife and his son was very sad for him. Rocky lost a friend and goal, and he wanted himself until death. All the other puppies have moved on to looks of the sky and thinks that he was both right to do that, but wrong. His best friend was now sad for the rest of his life, but his other friends were not. It was something else. He was completely sad and alone until death repaired everything and doing why I did that. I know that Rocky will be sad now until at the end of the day his job will be, in my opinion, the same. I destroyed my friend's life, but why did I do that? I know that the others puppies are moving on now. Put Rocky on him. He will never move on. I should never have done that. My eye was much too sad. Besides, my favorite nephew too will be distraught until the end of this day. I am stupid being have done that. Zuma was crying invisible tears around his transparent soul. He remains as a ghost around the velvet to see how things go round or not. In the future, he does not stop hanging around Rocky without let Rocky see him and this until death joins his two friends and things may get better. The end. Stay tuned for part 2, Zuma's depression and suicide 2.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say before I end the video, I am not really feeling that well. So I am I'm gonna use text to speech from now on until I feel a lot better. So there will be a part 2 coming up someday. So be on the lookout for part 2 of Zuma's suicide and depression part 2. So, yeah, like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications to get notified, and be sure to comment. And thank you for 130 odd subscribers. So, yeah.